Last week I talked about 10 ideas that you can think about if you want to make money with your drone. Now, one idea of that video was to make money with YouTube. So basically kind of like doing this thing. Though you don't necessarily have to do this whole talking head thing with a camera, you can just use your drone and make drone videos and edit your clips to the beat and then compile like a 3-minute video that's entertaining and fun to watch. And that could be just your YouTube channel. Regardless, as part of this series, I would like to talk a little bit more about all of these different ideas and give you a little bit more of a goal perspective, like what the actual goal is for each of those ideas. And then afterwards, a little bit of a step-by-step guide of what you need to do to get to those goals. And then lastly, I would like to share a little bit about my experience and also what I would do differently if I were to do it all over again. So this whole series is all about how you can make some money on the side with your drone. Last week I showed you 10 different ideas that you can pursue. If you haven't seen that video, you may want to go and watch that first and then come back here. Also, if you're interested in some of those ideas more than others, please just let me know down below in the comments, then I can make sure to focus more on those videos and also make those videos first. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and then YouTube will notify you when I make a new video. Now, speaking of YouTube, how does one actually make money off of a YouTube channel? I think the primary goal, no matter the size of the channel, is to really build an audience, right? You want to build an audience and then you want to grow that audience. That is really the primary goal, no matter who on YouTube you're talking to. That is really it. And then the sub goals are, of course, everybody knows this, I'm sure, getting to the magical 1,000 subscribers, because then you get to join the YouTube Partner Program. And then you can link your AdSense account and then you can run ads on your videos. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And then also some affiliate program that you might want to join at some point in your journey, like Amazon affiliates or others, and then you would have links underneath your videos. And that ties back into the audience goal, where the bigger the audience, the more people watch your videos, the more ad revenue you get, and the more people are likely to click on the links underneath your video. So it's really all about the audience and growing it. Now, what are the actual steps required to get to this goal of building an audience and joining the YouTube Partner Program so you can make some money on the side with your AdSense account? Well, there's actually 5 checks that you have to tick off before you get to join the YouTube Partner Program. Well, the first thing is your channel has to be eligible and follow the YouTube policies. And I'm not going to go into much detail. I'll put the link down below in the description. But there's a couple of things that your channel has to follow in order to be allowed in the Partner Program. For example, like you can't have any drug content use, you can't have any firearms use, you can't have violence, that kind of stuff, right? I mean, if you're planning to do a drone channel, then I think you're good, but something to keep in mind. Second is you need to live in an eligible country. Currently, there's 121 different countries supported by the YouTube Partner Program, and the list is continuously growing. And then the third step, and I just talked about it a little bit already, is the famous 1,000 subscribers. Yes, you do need to have 1,000 subscribers on your channel before you can join the YouTube Partner Program. Which, at least in the very beginning, seems like very, very difficult, and it feels like you'll never get there, but promise you will. What is actually harder is the fourth step, which is having 4,000 public watch hours. That's right, hours, not minutes. If you're just in the beginning of your YouTube journey and you've posted a couple of videos, then you will probably have noticed that everything is counted in minutes. Yeah. You need 4,000 watch hours. So actually I got to 1,000 subscribers a whole lot sooner before I got to the 4,000 watch hours. Like once you have a lot of subscribers, it accumulates and then you kind of like swoosh right past it. But for me personally, it took a lot longer to get to the 4,000 watch hours than to get to the 1,000 subscribers, just so you know. And then finally, you need to have an AdSense account that can be associated with the email address of your YouTube channel, or it can be a different AdSense account, but then you need to link that AdSense account with your YouTube channel. That's the exciting piece of admin work that you get to do once you've ticked off all the other things. and then you get to create an AdSense account if you don't have one already, and then you get to link it with your YouTube account. Now, my experience and what I would do differently if I were to do it all over again. It's a lot of work. It really, really is. And I've done the Ironman twice, and I can't really tell you which one is harder. And I'm not kidding. When people say consistency is key, they mean it. So if you wanted to be consistent and wanted to post one video a week, well, that doesn't sound like a lot. Well, that's right. But you only have to shoot the video, then edit all the footage, then maybe find some background music and put it behind your footage. Then you have to think about this thumbnail, then you have to design the thumbnail, then you have to do some metadata and keyword research, then you have to upload the video and put all the pieces together. And then ideally, especially in the early days, you also want to promote your video. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is super fun, but it also can be super frustrating. Like some weeks you do all of these things that I just mentioned, and you might even make 2 videos, and you think you have a kick-ass video and you upload it, and then nobody watches it. And that happens more often than not, especially like very early when your channel isn't known. And if you haven't hit the keywords properly, or there's bigger channels already competing for those types of keywords, then you're simply not gonna rank. And even though you put in a lot of hard work and hours of editing, nobody's gonna watch it. And that can be a little bit demotivating. And it will also make you feel like it will take forever to get to 1,000 subscribers. And then, as I just mentioned, then you finally get to 1,000 subscribers, and then you realize you don't have the necessary 4,000 public watch hours, and then you keep grinding a little bit until you also reach that milestone. And then finally you ticked off all the boxes, and like you have your 4,000 public watch hours, you have enough subscribers, you've created an AdSense account, and you're finally making some money on your videos, and drum roll, yeah, you're kind of making like $50 or maybe $100 a month if things are going well. Which, don't get me wrong, is a good thing. I mean, we all need to start somewhere, but I just want to like mention that it's not like, you know, you get to these 2 crazy far away milestones and then you finally make some money, but you actually make very, very little money in relative to the amount of work you've put in. Because by this time you've probably uploaded, I would say, between 60 and 80 videos. And each video, like in the beginning, some videos took me 20 hours to make, and they were horrendously awful, but still I was learning a lot. And then later on you get a little bit faster, but still you put in hours and hours and hours for each video. You've done 50, 60, 80, maybe even more. And then to make $50, it seems unproportional, at least in the very beginning. That will get better, or at least that is the idea once your audience grows. But just want to put that out there, that in the very beginning, again, it's hard. Okay, and lastly, just a couple of tips of what I would do differently if I were to do it all over again. And there's a couple of things. So first of all, I would just focus on one thing. So either make videos like these, where you kind of like do a little bit of show and tell, some tutorials on how to edit your drone footage, or just do drone videos, really just like go out, fly your drone, take some nice clips, and then compile them into like a little music video kind of compilation. Or like do these talking head videos kind of thing, but not do too many things at the same time. I mean, I try to do all 3 of these, like the tutorial videos, these types of videos, then actual drone flying videos. And then I was also doing Instagram and like trying to sell my footage on stock platforms. So it's just like way too many things that were going on at any given point in time. I would recommend to really like take another week or take another 2 weeks, step back, think which one would be the most fun for you, and then just do that one thing and do it for a while. Do it like for 3 months. And then if you really can't stand it anymore by then I would pivot into like one of these other areas. But really just focus on one thing would be like a huge takeaway. And then the next thing would be to not overcommit yourself. Like I try to like follow those guidelines that you hear on the internet where you should post at least 1 video a week. And I actually try to do 2. So one of these talking head videos and then one of the flying videos, right? The drone video compilation thingies. And I did that, like 1 or 2 videos every single week for an entire year, and it got me to these milestones after a year. But I think it's also important to remember to have fun, right? I mean, this is definitely probably out of all of those 10 ideas, if you haven't watched that 10 idea video, I would encourage you to watch it. Out of all of those 10 ideas, this is probably the most long-lasting one. Like with all types of this type of content creation, they always say you'll make money after 5 years. Everything else you make beforehand, that's extra. But so just keep that in mind, like you're not gonna do YouTube for like 2 years or so, then cash out and then lie on a beach and drink smoothies. This is gonna be a thing that you'll be doing for a long, long time. And then also, I would tell people about it. I didn't in the very beginning because I thought my videos sucked, and they did. They really sucked. But you know what? That is part of the journey and part of like becoming a content creator. And yeah, you kind of have to own the fact that you're gonna look like an idiot for a while. And you know what? That's okay. But I would really tell people, tell friends, tell the internet, Facebook, Reddit, what have you, and just post your content and ask for genuine feedback. And you'll be surprised how many people actually give you constructive and positive feedback. And even if something's like well overexposed or horrendously color graded, like some of my older videos, yeah, okay, people tell you, but they weren't wrong. they were right. Yeah, it looked awful, but I don't know what I was thinking. But hey, this is how you learn. So I think really like putting yourself out there and it's like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing, and what do you think? I think that's huge, and that will also give you a lot of personal growth, which is always a good thing. And then also don't look at the big guys. Don't look at the very, very big guys. I mean, find your favorite channels and see what they're doing right and how they're structuring their content. But maybe try to find some smaller or mid-sized channel where you can see like maybe how they're setting up their studio, or how they're flying the drone and what kind of drone moves they're using a lot, those kind of things. But don't really compare yourself to them. Just see like what they're doing well, and maybe you can like do that yourself as well with your own spin on it. But don't compare the numbers. I would actually encourage you to not look at the numbers at all in the beginning. Just like if you're having fun making videos, awesome, keep making videos. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Like maybe you can check in once a month or once every 6 months, doesn't matter. At some point YouTube will tell you if you've reached your milestones. So if you can stay away from all those numbers and comparing yourself to other channels, like the healthier it will be for your mental health, and the more you can actually just focus on making awesome content. And then lastly, I would encourage you to really find a niche and really niche down. I know we're talking about drones and YouTube, but maybe you can find even a niche within that. I try to do like how to edit your drone photos, then I try to do drone video editing, then I try to do, well, these talking head videos, then I try to do actual drone flying videos. Like they're all related to drones, and that's great, and there's a big audience for that for sure. But I think it's a lot easier to actually find a really, really unique niche, like kind of make sure that there's a little bit of demand for that. Like I'm making this up now, but like you fly your drones through really narrow spaces, and that's the only thing that you do. And maybe you do that for a while, and then you become really popular as the person who like flies the drone through crazy narrow spaces, right? And then once you get that going, then you can expand it a little bit, and maybe then you do like some tutorials on how you do that. And then you expand a little bit further into some other areas. But really niching down helps you finding an audience that you resonate with, that want to come back and watch your videos, and then you can grow your audience from there. So I hope this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. This is not a how to do a YouTube channel. This is really all about drones if you're new here, but I encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to learn more tips about how to make money from your drone on the side, there'll be another video coming up right about next week. Until then, have a good one.